2 words and a comma which I wouldn't be utterly ashamed to have written. And then he went through the poem, syllable by syllable, period by period, and explained why and how each was the wrong choice. But to hear him give praise to Hopkins and the other literary giants who mattered to him, to have written that, my God, was an unforgettable tutorial in the efficacy of literary love. Much of his criticism, though I write mostly on prose, has been an effort to enact the standards I learned from Hill, a struggle to become somewhat worthy of his tremendous example, and also a remembrance of the kindness he showed to me. After the seminar, he tolerated my youth's pesky gusto for another semester during weekly sessions at his office. He always wore a black sweatsuit painted in white cat hair, where he guided me through the roiling labyrinth of Hopkins's great long poem, The Wreck of the Deutschland. When Hill died too soon in 2016, the world became a much darker, duller place for me. I still hear his voice daily. Most fiction writers at the entrance gate of their careers quickly see that no one is all that eager to pay them for their stories, but I saw that I could cover a few monthly bills with a 1,200-word review. With Hill's help, I sold my first essay review that same semester on the Russian writer Tatiana Tolstaya to the fabled Partisan Review, which then promptly shut down operation before my piece could be published. But a paycheck showed up in the mail anyway, indeed, enough to cover a bill. And since then, I've gone on having bills. Criticism doesn't pay very much, but it does pay something, and those of us with greedy little mouths at home will take what we can get. Still, the critic best have some other motive, some other need that's fulfilled by entering the arena of literary comment. For some, that need assumes dignity by morphing into duty. The critic is a reader before he is a writer, a spirited lover of literature, and criticism is one important use to which he puts his reading and his love. To sit before literature in appreciation and awe, to want to have some hand in facilitating literature's efficacy, to comprehend that literature is, in Kenneth Burke's phrase, equipment for living, a means of enlargement and enhancement and understanding. These are the critic's prerequisites. The critic should be tethered to no theory, no ideology, no asphyxiating ism. Like the poet and novelist, he should be of no party. Ideology is the enemy of art because ideology is the end of imagination. The critic's chief loyalty is to the duet of beauty and wisdom, to the well-made and usefully wise, and to the ligatures between style and meaning. Literature is read and criticism written in defiance of the ongoing noise, the ceaseless cyber-grading and reckless surrender of calm, and in defense of those solitary spots where a person desires to conquer the great wilderness of himself, as James Baldwin has it, the great wilderness that gives up its secrets only by way of an inquisitive hush, a whispered inwardness in which we can be wholly ourselves. Perhaps the primary distinction of the artist, Baldwin writes, is that we must actively cultivate that state which most men, necessarily, must avoid, the state of being alone. The cultivation of aloneness is the primary distinction of the reader and critic, too. If, as Goethe believed, the artist must have a touch of audacity in order to make art, I learned from Geoffrey Hill what I'd soon find in Baldwin, Mary McCarthy, Elizabeth Hardwick, and the others who have become my lodestars, a conviction that the critic must have audacity, too. What does a particularly American audacity look like? In the opening essay of Nobody Knows My Name, The Discovery of What It Means to Be an American, James Baldwin begins with an axiom from his beau ideal Henry James. It is a complex fate to be an American, and then imparts this bit of Baldwinian insight. America's history, her aspirations, her peculiar